It's a beautiful day to everyone. It's me once again, your friend, your best buddy over here, Noel Abalde, and welcome to my channel. If you're new and attended to the channel, please hit like, subscribe, and please also hit the notification bell so that you guys will be updated every time I post a video. Well, for today's episode, we'll be talking more about how to become a successful entrepreneur, how to vision about a business that would last for a lifetime. The elements or the inputs that I will share to you this morning are also gotten from the learnings I had with trainings and as well as advice coming from dear friends of mine who themselves are also entrepreneurs. Do you want to become a successful entrepreneur? So please listen to this, guys. There are three elements that you need to consider before jumping or starting a business. And what are these? Number one, capital. Number two, manpower. Number three, you will have the system. You need to establish or to ensure that these three elements would be there before starting. You know what, guys? In business, the beginning is always the hardest. It takes a lot of pressure, it takes a lot of effort, energy, dedication, strong determination, so on and so forth. Why? Because becoming a business person is not an easy task that to be done. And you know, you're envisioning to become somebody in the future. All the business tycoons or successful businessmen we have in our society nowadays, they started in a small business. They also have their humble beginnings. So you need to consider the three elements before jumping to the business so that you will not be indulged into a lot of debts. And you know what? Once you will not listen, once you have poor learnings about these things, then you will have a stressful life. So, to avoid it, you need to listen to this advice or better also read books that also shares about business and even advice coming from the friends of yours who themselves also engage already in a business. So number one, let's talk about the capital. Capital is really an important thing to be secured before starting a business. So you need to try to think right now what sort of business you're going to do. Number one, if it is traditional or the contemporary business that we have right now. So if I were you, if you want to start with traditional business, or traditional business is really difficult too, then you need to think about the capital. So at the start, because you are a neophyte businessman and you want to hone your skills in these particular areas, so I advise that you need to start in a small business. Small business that would only require small capital. Do not start immediately with big business that requires you to have or you need to secure millions, because for sure if you have poor learning, you will end up to be exhausted in that very day and you will end up to be very stressful. So you need to start with a small business with a small capital. Try to start in a simple one. You know, big businessmen right now, like business tycoons, we have the society, they start in the humble beginnings. They start in a small business. And then they went through that business, but you know what, even how small their business was, they too encounter a lot of issues, a lot of struggles. But what's the good thing right here, as an entrepreneur or business, failures would really be inevitable. But what you need to do is deal with failures properly, learn from it, and you need to use them as stepping stones for you to reach success. Try to ask, do you have the capital with you? If you don't have the capital with you, so as a practice, you need to start with a very small business that requires small capital. You cannot really put aside or discount that in business there are really risks. So try to think about the capital. If the business is too big, too huge, never allow yourself to boldly step on it without learning, guys. So try to think. So it's a sari store, like a small business of yours. So you may have 2,000. Work for the 2,000 pesos and then have a profit, make use of it, use the money properly or the resources properly so that you will also have a profit. But never ever stop learning, guys. My advice is you have to attend seminars relative to business, so that that particular way you will be able to understand the nature of the business. You will really use the resources properly. So that's one thing. Try to think about capital. Number two, you need to think about manpower. There are two elements that you need to consider once you have business. Number one is consistency. Number two is focus. If you want to succeed in this area, in this realm, you need to be hands-on, guys. You cannot really leave this responsibility to someone else and then do the business for you. No. At the start, you have to have also your humble beginnings. Do the business on your own, because at the start you will really be able to understand the nature. You will encounter the problems, and then you analyze it. You yourself will be able to solve the problem on your own, so that in the coming months, once you have the flaws of the money, business will not always be gains. There will also be times that you will have losses, you will have deficits. So you have to work with this, so that the moment you encounter the same problem, it will just be a piece of cake for you guys, because you encounter it already and you know what to do whenever this problem comes. Try to bear this in your mind, that these two elements are really important, guys. Consistency and focus. Do it in your own. But later on, once you have already lots of profit and you become successful in this endeavor of yours, and that's the time that you will think about your manpower. Try to think about manpower. The manpower means the people who will be working with you, who will be working for your business. Try to think about it. Now, if your business doesn't require yet manpower, manpower will be yourself, you do it alone. But if it requires, you really need to hire a lot of people and you are still starting, so please do not do that, because you'll end up regretful at the end of the day. It depends upon what kind of business that you will be establishing at the start. If this business requires you need to hire people, then try to consider about your resources. Do you have enough funds to pay them? If you don't have yet the funds, then you need to start the simple business, do it your own, and the manpower be yourself. Yes. Number three is you need to think about the system. System would lead you in a long, long way. So your vision is that your business would be there for a lifetime. Even in the future, and then you get old, the beautiful fact that we will all get a die. But once you have a proper flow, or you have the proper procedure, you have the proper ways, like you employ a particular system in your business, you'll be able to pass this one to your next generation. We have lots of huge company right now owned by prominent and elite people, and you know what, the founder, their parents, their forefathers started it all. And the question is, why is still up and running up till this point of time? It's because that their fathers, their poor parents before, already established a system. That system works for the business. And up until right now, the young generations are now doing the business. And it's still gonna continue till the next generations to come. So try to employ a system that is just only right with your business, because business, guys, is a science. It really is a process, and you need to have proper steps or proper process, so that you will not end up to be very stressful. If you have poor learnings, ideas about these things, then in the future, this business will die naturally. And what it leaves a huge amount of debt, and we don't want it to happen, right? So that is why you have to invest in learning. You have to invest in books. Read a lot of books about business and try to assess yourself whether you're already capable about it. So again, let me just have a recap about the three elements that you need to consider before starting the business. Number one, you need to have capital. Number two, you need to have manpower. And number three, the last one, you need to have a system. Put this one together in full circle, then it will work for your business, and your business will get to be there and become big business in the future. So I hope that this sharing of mine will help you also, guys, run your business properly. And this is me once again, Luella Buddy, your friend, your best buddy, Bricky, would say, have a great day to everyone. God bless.